world has been at peace. But something is coming. I can feel it. Dark forces are upon us.
Find these beasts, or whatever they are.
Our world is dying. There is nothing to go back to. If our people are to survive, we must make a home here. Whatever happens.
Whatever happens. If we do not unite, our world will perish.
This doesn't need to happen. There is one who may help us.
For orcs, there is no other life but war. No, but with the humans' help, there could be.
Why are you here?
To save our people.
Can we trust him?
They're beasts. They should all be destroyed.
Are you sure about that? We'll protect the kingdom. You and I.
You'd side with the humans against your own kind.
This is suicide.
We have no choice. We should attack with full force.
Whatever you plan to do it now!
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. Happy BlizzCon. We finally got the official Warcraft trailer, so let's break it down. Real quick reminder too, I'm doing a giveaway for one of the purchasable epic mounts. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. So if you guys were watching the feed this morning, they introduced some of the cast on stage. Most of the big characters we see in this trailer.
If I can introduce Toby Kebbell, Duratan, Ben Foster, Medivh, Dominic Cooper, the King Lane, yeah. Clancy Brown, Blackhand, Daniel Wu, Gul'dan, and Paula Patton, Garona.
Just to place the movie in the timeline, it kind of picks up where the first game picks up, orcs v humans. As you can see, the narrative of the game, Ogrim is like the protagonist of the orcs. He's going to try and form an alliance with the humans. Lothar here is kind of like his counterpart. But obviously on the orc side, you have people like Clancy Brown playing Blackhand who aren't going to be really happy about that. You have King Lane Rin, Dominic Cooper here, who isn't sure what to do. And then swirling in the background, we have Gul'dan and Medivh. So obviously they're going to have their own agenda too, despite the fact that they're both serving the orcs and the humans. Yay for squishy cloth wares. It is really fun seeing little baby Thrall there. Just look how elite he is. This is also one of our first looks at Durotan too. He's going to be the leader of one of the other orc factions. But if it's not clear, during the orc narrative, despite the fact that they have all these big characters, Ogrim is the main character. Really, I think of this as like Ogrim and Lothar's movie, and then you just have a bunch of other big characters in it. It looks like we're getting a taste of the Burning Legion, so I'm guessing that's where Gul'dan comes in, and that provides some of the impetus for Ogrim to try and form an alliance with the humans. Now remember, this is just the first of many movies, so if you're up on your Warcraft lore, you know Gul'dan stretches across a lot of orc leaders, and a lot of them appear in this movie, so I'm expecting Gul'dan, Medivh, some of the bigger background characters to carry forward in any future movies that they do. It's just that in the official Warcraft lore, Gul'dan manipulates a lot of the orcs, like Ogrim ends up battling with a lot of the other chieftains. Eventually, Gul'dan installs Blackhand here, Clancy Brown's character, as the puppet leader of the United Horde. We also have to talk about Garona's character, because it seems like she's going to be a link between orcs and humans, although secretly she's part Draenei. I don't know how they're going to figure into this movie. It seems like this movie's mostly focusing on the conflict between orcs and humans, so I'm not expecting a whole lot of Draenei stuff. Maybe Easter eggs for future movies. So I think for the short term, we're just supposed to think of her as a link between orcs and humans. But, then secretly at the end of the movie, they might find out that she's part Draenei and then push that into the second movie. We'll see. I think it just depends on how successful this first movie is. I think they want to keep it as simple as possible, and Warcraft lore gets really complicated. Game of Thrones does the same thing when it adapts stuff for the TV show. Like it makes it a little bit more linear, a little bit easier to follow. But the good thing is if this is successful enough, they'll spin it out into a big Marvel universe and you'll get all kinds of Warcraft movies. Probably StarCraft movies too eventually. But what I'm really hoping that we see, one of the big surprises I'm hoping to see, is Gul'dan invoking Sargeras. Something big from the Burning Legion. Either Kil'jaeden, Archimonde, Sargeras. There has to be some villain that's bigger than the orcs and the humans. Like, they'll be fighting each other, but they have to unite because some bigger threat from the Burning Legion comes along. We are way too early for the Lich King, not expecting a whole lot of dragons either. But in terms of progression, just expect the movies to follow the timeline of the games, with the idea that if they cut things out, they might bring them back later. Like if they don't reference the Draenei in the first movie, they might bring them on later. Or if we don't meet Sargeras in the first movie, we might meet him in the second or the third. There'll be a whole bunch of movies, and Blizzard Activision just launched a TV and film studio, so they're actually going to be producing a lot more content. I mean, it's starting with Call of Duty and Skylanders, but eventually you'll see Warcraft and Starcraft TV shows. I think like a lot of other big film things they want to do, it'll just depend on how successful this first movie is. I think it's going to be awesome, but I'll say like the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is seeing the Burning Legion just wreck everybody. Now, if you didn't see it, I just posted a Star Wars trailer video. So after you get through all that footage, after you get through all the awesome footage, while you're watching the BlizzCon feed, be sure to update all of your Blizzard games. I actually just had to log in for the first time in a week or two to update Hearthstone, Warcraft, and StarCraft 2. I totally admit to just auto-buying anything that Blizzard sells, so even though I haven't played StarCraft 2 in a while, I'm totally auto-buying Legacy of the Void. I feel like you have to. One of the big knocks against Destiny is the fact that it has almost no narrative. There's almost no lore, there's almost no story. Blizzard is one of the best companies when it comes to stuff like that. They have special people on their team whose job is only to develop the lore. So everybody grab your raid gear, watch the trailer a couple more times. Here, actually, you can click here. I'll just add a link so you can loop the trailer forever and ever. And you can click here for the new Star Wars trailer I just posted. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody, let's high five. I'll see you guys this weekend.